Before my life took the direction it has, I used to run around in the backyard playing catch with my dad, hopping the fence to play with neighborhood kids. It seemed like every day was good, doing stupid shit, but never behaving the way we should have. Raised Christian, influenced as a youth by the crucifix. Switched to public education, but never did really get used to it. In childhood foolishness, went from gifted and talented and honor roll to shoplifting at Conoco, sneaking in group for 6, Nemesis on Nintendo. Posted up in the electronics department at Target all day playing Genesis demos, starving. Shined in the darkness with Kelvin and raising funds in the parking lot of the supermarket, bumming change for laser one, running game on Asian. I'd spend hours taking tokens, finding ways to aggravate them, beat them till the game was broken. With Jason, stealing from me was too easy. We used to jack toys, go home, open them up, bumping Houdini and the Fat Boys. Moms drove a trooper, had a crush on Punky Brewster. For years I wondered if Fred Savage fucked with Winnie Cooper. I was just a skinny loser, a prepubescent virgin, uncertain and full of question. Eyes had never seen deception. Yes, it happened after birth, so let's get past the first impressions. I moved to an urban setting now. I'm using words for weapons. Once passive, now turned aggressive. I guess it's the cess that changed me. Rap with the perfect essence, expressing most everything that's happened since afterbirth. So let's get past the first impressions. I moved to an urban setting now. I'm using words for weapons. Once passive, now turned aggressive. I guess it's the cess that changed me. Rap with the perfect essence, expressing what makes me angry. Yeah, this is that character that I've been waiting to build. That has nothing at all to do with how I'm stating my skill. Cause I'll stay screaming at you cats till I turn gray in the gills. I seen you swerving, going off the road, so straighten the wheel. And while you try to get there first, you know the race isn't real. They say when there's a bill, there's a way. So why you wasting your will? I love my memories of my mom and pop, but I'm erasing them still. Took a few shots and I chased them with pills. Cause of the spot that I grew up's the only place that I feel. I love smashing out on my bike, but always hated the hills. Who me? Making a killing? I have yet to make one shilling, while some look over my shoulder just for the sake of stealing. Aware or not, they read your brain. I swear to God, you'd be amazed. Cause villains these days will find a way to rape the willing. How many were crushed in rubble, just couldn't escape the building. In war, there is no winner. Consider the fate of children. Powerless as we're housing terrorists within our borders. Men in camouflage and automatic weapons on every corner. Bombing the block outside got you thinking this can't be real. Now you're feeling the way the kids in Afghanistan feel. A lot's happened since afterbirth, so let's get past the first impressions. I moved to an urban setting now. I'm using words for weapons. Once passive, now turned aggressive. I guess it's the cess that changed me. Rap with the perfect essence, expressing most everything that's happened since afterbirth. So let's get past the first impressions. I moved to an urban setting now. I'm using words for weapons. Once passive, now turned aggressive. I guess it's the cess that changed me. Rap with the perfect essence, expressing what makes me angry. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy Friday to everybody. Let me get back into the chat here, see who showed up to show love or hate, whichever you prefer. I like both, as long as you show up. That's all that really matters. Let's say, so good afternoon, Clemson Talks, Clemson Jacob, Billy Dawson, David in Atlanta. How you doing, sir? Air Max, the legend killer, college football maniac. Thank everybody for popping in. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I am in a great mood today. And why would I not be in a great mood? It's Friday. There's more NFL games tonight, I believe. Unfortunately, I was not able to catch any of the games last night because I was out at a baseball game. David in Atlanta says he's busy right now. Just wanted to say hello. Have a good show. I'll be doing a Falcons game live stream. Awesome, David. I don't know. I'll have to see what time that game comes on. I'll stop in and say hello to you tonight, sir. I appreciate you stopping in. Leon Hurricanes. How you doing, sir? Anyways, what was I saying? I was at a baseball game last night. Didn't get to see any of the games. Of course, I watched some clips on YouTube, and I will get back to watch some of the games that I missed last night. I heard Baker Mayfield had a great night. You know, I heard a lot of things. The first thing that I want to address, though, you could see it there in the title, is, of course, since I'm a Carolina guy, I did see this, and it made me laugh, that Cam Newton straight punked out Kelvin Benjamin. I mean, Kelvin Benjamin, come on, man. Come on, man. What are you doing, dog? You got, so from 800 miles away, or however far it is from Charlotte to Buffalo, you know, something like that, You could talk all that crap. Cam Newton comes over to address you like a grown man. And to me, it didn't even look like Cam was getting aggressive. I mean, he did kind of get up in his grill a little bit. But you didn't even want to talk to the man. If you're going to have the gall or the balls to say something like that, what you said about Cam, and he comes up to talk to you man to man and you punk out like a little baby. I mean, first of all, he looked bad by saying the stuff, and now he just looks really bad for being a complete punk. So he gets what he deserves. I don't feel sorry for him one bit. He's a bitch. Excuse my French. Well, let's see here. Let's see what you guys are talking about here in the comment section real quick before I move on to my next subject. Heard that. Did Lou stream last night? I turned it off when the dude started crying. I don't know if you're talking to me or somebody in the comment section, Billy Dawson. I didn't see Lou's stream last night. I will go back and watch it, though. I didn't get to see anything. I didn't get to see YouTube. I didn't get to see TV. I didn't get to see nothing. I will go back and watch that, though. Ray caught a touchdown catch. He did, huh? See, that's another. I missed so much. I'm super excited because later on this afternoon, I'm going to go back and watch as much of those games that I missed as I can. And there's certain people I want to see. Obviously, some Clemson players, Ray being one of them. I also wanted to see what Baker Mayfield did. I also wanted to see. I heard DJ Moore for Carolina had a big night. I want to see him in action. Didn't get to see any of that. So, hey, what's up, Ryan Stanfield? Good afternoon, sir. How you doing? Happy Friday, sir. Yeah, Fridays are amazing and legendary. I love Fridays. I did have a chance, however, for about 10 minutes to hop on before I went to bed, or when I was laying in bed, rather, to hop on. I saw Small Vol was doing a live stream last night, and I got to say, what's up, Falcons Fury? How you doing? Good afternoon, sir. I saw that he had some trolls on there trolling him. He was doing a live play-by-play between the Titans and the Packers, I think it was. And I got to tell you, he handled it like a champ. He's got trolls on, and we all got trolls. I got trolls too. Trolls don't bother me one bit. I'm undefeated against the trolls. So the trolls always lose on Pigskin Pete's YouTube channel. And they can say whatever they want to me about me, and I don't really care. But these people come on here saying terrible things about the way he looks, the way he talks. I don't get that. These people have no life whatsoever. They're so disgusted with their own life that they feel like they have to go on this guy's channel just to say mean and nasty things about him personally, not about football. And I wish that I could reach through the screen and slap some of those sorry loser sons of bitches for him. But they wouldn't come on my stream because I would absolutely destroy and embarrass them. So instead, they go on his stream and act like a bunch of lowlifes. That's the only word I'm going to use about it. So something I really want to talk about today. I've been thinking about this all day. I don't know why I think about the stupidest crap. And I got to think, I believe it was Billy Dawson that brought this to my attention yesterday on I think it was Billy on Twitter. Because I've made several videos about this over the past year. It blows my mind to no end. And this even literally blew the top of my head off out into the stratosphere. Kansas State, I can't even believe I'm about to say this. It sounds even ridiculous saying it. Kansas State gave Bill Snyder a 5-year extension and a raise. Now, again, before anybody gets on here and starts telling me I'm a hater and starts telling me how great of a coach Bill Snyder is and how great of a person he is, I don't want to hear it. Save it. Save it. Don't even waste your finger energy typing that. I know he's a great guy. I know he's a good coach. But he's old as Jesus. He's 79 years old. 79 years old. I made a joke, and it wasn't a joke, because I don't want to see this happen on one of my Bill Snyder videos, that he might be the first coach in the history of football to actually die on the sideline of old age. And That might actually happen now. Unfortunately, I mean, that would be terrible. But this means at the end of his contract, he's going to be 85 years old, people. 85 years old. A head coach on the sideline of a Power 5 football program. I don't get it. Can anybody explain this to me, please? And here's whenever I ask people about this, they get all defensive. They say, well, when he took that program over, they were a dumpster fire. They were a 2 or 3 win team every year. He took that program over 30 years ago. 30 or 29 or whatever. He's won 2 conference championships in 30 years there. Great. He went and he rebuilt it. They're somewhat relevant now. Time to move on. Anyway, I don't know why I care so much because I'm not a Kansas State fan. But listen, there's one thing I know for sure out of this whole thing right here. That I'd be willing to bet my life savings on right now is that for the next 5 years, Kansas State will not win the Big 12. Write it down. Jesus Christ. Sorry, guys. This Bill Snyder thing really gets me in a tizzy. I don't know why. It just does. Let's see. Yeah, he hasn't done crap since, Brian Stanfield says. Well, he didn't say crap, but you can read the comments. Exactly. Air Max Legend Killer says he's a Big 12 guy, but Snyder should go. He's holding us back. We need new fresh blood. Exactly. Listen, look, I've said this before too. Okay? With the exception of Nick Saban, because he's, 64, I think. Look at the greatest coaches in college football right now. Not of all time. Don't sit here and tell me Bear Bryant, who's been dead for 30 years. I know he hasn't been dead for 30 years. He's been dead for a while, okay? Dabo Swinney, he's in his 40s. Kirby Smart, he's in his 40s. Lincoln Riley is younger than me. Lincoln Riley is like 3 or 4 years younger than me. Okay? That's 3 of the 4 people that were in the college football playoff last year. All under the age of 50. Urban Meyer's not old either. He might be what, early 50s? He's got another 15 years left before I start calling him too old to coach. My point here is that college football has changed. The culture has changed. There's not a single person inside that Kansas State locker room that can relate to a 79-year-old guy. Period. Hell, he's probably too old to even relate to his assistant coaches at this point. Oh, man. All right. More power to you, Bill Snyder. More power to you, brother. Congratulations on your extension, I guess. Whatever. Let's see what you guys are talking about in the comment section here. Ryan Stanfield says, with Urban, it don't matter. That dude had 2 heart attacks with 2 aneurysms. No, he's only had 1 heart attack, and it was a fake one, sir. So I think that Urban Meyer's going to outlive us all. He hasn't had any heart attacks, trust me. Let's see. Falcons Fury says, Pete, show a little respect. Has been coaching since we were in Pop's sack. Yeah, listen, I respect him. You know who I don't respect, though, Falcons Fury? I don't respect the Kansas State athletic department for being complete shills who are scared to win. If I'm a Kansas State fan, I am pissed off today. I don't care. Listen, I love Dabo Swinney. No matter what happens for the rest of his coaching career, I will always have a place in my heart for Dabo Swinney. He brought Clemson back from mediocrity to greatness and won us a natty. Even if he never wins another natty, at least he did that. If Dabo Swinney is 79 years old and still the coach of Clemson and they give him a 5-year extension, then I'm going to bang my head into a wall. I won't be happy about that. So, yeah. Yeah, it's blasphemy. Yeah, they're letting their fans down. Whatever. I know that Lou calls him Skeletor, and which is funny, but it's not funny how old he is. I mean, listen, I don't want anybody to die. Can you imagine? Just imagine here for a second. This is a horrible thing to imagine. I get that. But imagine you're watching a football game on Saturday. Kansas State's playing whoever, Oklahoma State, whatever, somebody in the Big 12. You know, it gets cold as crap in Kansas. You know, it's 10 degrees out there, 20 degrees, whatever it is. All of a sudden, Bill Snyder just collapses on the sideline, you know, and they have to bring the paramedics out. I mean, what a terrible situation that would be. That would not be good for college football. I mean, who wants to see that? I don't. That'd be terrible. Depressing, isn't it? Anyway, enough about Bill Snyder. I gotta get my blood pressure up here. See what you guys are talking about in the comment section. I heard some information. I haven't even looked into it. Games going on and then Snyder falling out on the side. Exactly. That'd be terrible. So I heard something, a supposed new development in this whole Urban Meyer fiasco. And I got to be honest with you guys. You know, when this story first broke, any little new piece of information, first of all, it was all they were talking about on ESPN or Fox Sports or whatever, Paul Feinbaum's show, anything that had anything to do with college football. That's what they talked about for 24 hours straight, for 2 days straight, for 48 hours, if my math is correct. And I was all in. It was fascinating, listening to all these different storylines coming out. At this point, I'm so tired of it. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing at Ohio State? Are they just gonna? How long is this? How long does it take to investigate this? Is this like the JFK assassination? For Christ's sake, how long does it take to look at a couple of emails? Either fire the guy or don't. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of it. Now something new came out that said the mother of the assistant coach who beat his wife's sister's cousin's brother says that she was trying to take down Urban Meyer, and she vowed to do that. That's news now? That's how deep into the rabbit hole these fools are going on ESPN. That this is what do you call that? The 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, where you have to name an actor, and you can go 6 actors that have worked with Kevin Bacon. This is like the 6 degrees of the guy who beat his wife. Who cares? I don't. I'm sick of it. Everything right now is annoying me. I'm in such a great mood. I'm in such a great mood that Bill Snyder and Urban Meyer together are starting to ruin my day. Is it too early to start drinking? What time is it? It's 1:14. I think I might have to start drinking. I'm gonna have to calm down here. This is getting a little bit crazy. And I'm going to say something here. And Miranda Dansby, if you're on here, no offense, ma'am. I don't want to offend any women, either you or any other woman that may come across this video. But has anybody even considered the fact, and I'm no Urban Meyer supporter, okay? I think Urban Meyer is a complete dickhead, to put it mildly. But has anybody even considered the fact that this lady making these accusations might be crazy? There's a novel idea, a crazy woman. Huh? I think we've all met a few. I know I have. Not that Miranda, you're not crazy. I'm sure you're fabulous. But yeah, who's to say that this woman's not crazy? I mean, that is a very viable possibility if you ask Pigskin Pete. Yeah. Ryan Stanfield says, today's his father-in-law's birthday. We drinking. All right, sir. Hold on, let me check my beer fridge right here. Yeah, it's like I thought. Empty. So, anyway, my father-in-law's here. He stays strapped with beer. So, I'm literally about 13 steps down the stairs away from a cold beer if I wanted one right now. Yeah, but I'll try to get through this stream without drinking if I can. Somebody bring up something else that completely gets under my skin, and I might be taking a brief intermission to go hit the beer fridge up because it is Friday. And listen, there's always a good excuse to crack a brew on Friday, and you don't need to manufacture an excuse to do that. Okay, I'm good now. Let's see what you guys are talking about in the comment section. Falcon's Fury says, yes, you might be crazy after he hit her over the head and gave her brain damage. Oh, you guys are too much. A college football maniac who is Miranda Dansby's boyfriend says she won't be offended. All women are crazy. Yeah, listen. I've been married for 11 years, and actually me and my wife have been together for over 20 years. We're high school sweethearts. And I call her crazy on a daily basis. So, I don't consider that to be offensive. I just consider it to be the way it is. So, I'm sure she thinks I'm crazy too. So, it goes both ways. The new news is that Zach Smith or whatever lawyer is shocked they haven't been asked one question yet under the investigation. Yeah, that's kind of weird. You know what? I'm really gonna have to get a beer after this one. You guys, every question that you ask me just sets me off on another tangent. I'm about to have a tangent right now. So, when Ohio State says they're looking into it, Ohio State's investigating Urban Meyer. I hate this. This is like saying that all right, let's just take it down to a corporate, a small business perspective. Anybody who out there who's owned a small business or worked for one knows what I'm talking about. So let's say a plumbing company, just for example. Let's say that you work for a plumbing company and a customer claims that you came in there and whacked her over the head with a pipe wrench, for example. So now who's going to investigate this? Is the owner of the plumbing company going to be in charge of investigating whether or not his employee hit this woman over the head with a pipe wrench, or are the police going to do it? Right? Am I right? This is the same thing that happens with the police. So a police shoots and kills somebody who's unarmed, or they beat up some guy who did nothing wrong, right? And who investigates it? The police do. Am I crazy? Ohio State has no business investigating this. Somebody else should be doing it. SEC Dog, hey Pete, let's talk about South Carolina Boom Chickens. What do you want to talk about the South Carolina Boom Chickens? That is something that will definitely lead me to drinking. I actually, if we start talking about the Boom Chickens, I might have to switch from beer to the hard stuff, sir. Yeah. Air Max, not sure how that is. We have actually won a natty in the past 10 years. We aren't Tennessee. Falcons Fury, who are you a fan of, sir? I would imagine if you're a Falcons fan, you're a Georgia fan. But Georgia hasn't won a natty in the past 10 years. I don't know. Who's your college team, Falcons Fury? Oh, he's a Florida fan. Oh, that explains it. Yeah. Don't even get me started on Florida either. I'll run off my entire subscriber base. They're all going to hate me by the end of this stream. I'll have 0 subs left and 0 views. Tiger Nation, how are you? Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing? He's hiding at work. Now, that's dedication, sir. I've got to say, Tiger Nation, I wish I could give you some sort of award for being the most loyal viewer that I have, I think. Tiger Nation is always there for Pigskin Pete. Makes me feel like $1 million and absolutely amazing and fantastic, which I am. But he makes me feel even more that way. Let's see here. He's a frying pan, Pete. Oh, Air Max, the legend killer. Air Max is really trying to get me off the deep end, talking about Michigan. I think I already ran off all the Michigan fans. They were on here the other day, type, and then I haven't seen them on here since. Jazzy TV, good afternoon, Jazzy TV. How you doing, sir? Yes, Kelvin Benjamin is an absolute bum for what he did. Listen, I lost a little bit of respect for Kelvin Benjamin after he made those statements about Cam Newton because they're just absolutely false. If you look at the other, somebody, Greg Olsen, for example, has been the first tight end in NFL history to have 3 1,000-yard receiving seasons in a row ever. The first tight end ever. And we're talking about great tight ends, Tony Gonzalez, other great tight ends in the NFL, with Cam Newton throwing on the ball. But Kelvin Benjamin can't catch it. But I lost all respect for Kelvin Benjamin whenever he makes statements like that, and then whenever Cam comes over to talk to him man to man, he backs down like the punk that he is. And mark my words, I don't care if Tom Brady's throwing Kelvin Benjamin the ball next year, this year, next year, the year after, wherever, he's still going to suck. Overrated as hell. Overpaid, overrated. Hell, he might even be out of the league in a couple years. He sucks so bad. Getting my blood pressure up again. People are crazy. Jazzy TV, what's up? Falcons Fury, much love to him too. Yeah, Falcons Fury, I watched one of your vids yesterday, man. Good stuff, sir. Despite the fact that you're a Falcons fan, still good stuff. Billy Dawson says he's not hiding, but he's at work. I really, first of all, I appreciate anybody for watching, period. I'm always humbled to see anybody that cares enough to come on. I hope that we have fun on here. That's the whole point of this. If we're not having fun, then what the hell are we doing? But for people to watch it work, makes me feel even better. So, but hello, Sooner Ace. How you doing, sir? My favorite Oklahoma fan. But again, soon, starting the 21st of August, as I've announced before, I will continue to announce this for people that haven't seen, who are hopping on, who didn't see the last stream or the one before that or whatever. Starting August 21st, I will be starting to stream on a set schedule, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Write it down, tattoo it on your wrist, tattoo it on your forehead even. Just make sure if you do tattoo it on your forehead that you do it backwards so that when you look in the mirror, it reads correctly and it doesn't read backwards. Yeah, and that'll be that. And then I'll be doing Saturdays during a primetime game as well. So plan on that. It will be fantastic and amazing, like everything that I do is. Hey, let's not sit here and act like Florida didn't have the most dangerous team of all time. We had a few killer drug dealers and a priest leading them. Oh, at least Falcons Fury. At least you can laugh at your own team, sir. I'll give you credit for that. So that's good stuff. Ryan Stanfield says, Pete, if, and he seems to be emphasizing if because he's putting it in capital letters as if he's yelling it, right? Isn't that what the kids do these days? If it's in all capital letters, that means they're yelling. So I'll start over. Ryan Stanfield says, Pete, if I can get you Alabama tickets where you go. You mean to a game in Alabama? Is that what you're asking? First of all, I'd love to go to an Alabama game. But, yeah, I guess it would just depend on what I had going on, if I could fit that into my important schedule. Ryan, it's not to a Clemson-Bama game. Shit. If it's a Clemson-Bama game, that means it's a playoff game. I would love to go to that. Kidding me? Absolutely. Listen, Ryan, if you can get tickets to an Alabama and Clemson playoff game, yeah, count me in, sir. Because that's the only thing holding me back from going is the price of those playoff tickets. I just can't convince the old lady to drop a couple G's for us to drop a couple G's on a football game. Actually, I can't even convince myself. Forget about her. That's crazy. It is what it is. I'd rather pay my mortgage than see a game, which I think is smart, by the way. I think I got my head on my shoulders when I say that. We got a fight in the comment section. Leon Hurricanes says Falcons Fury, slow your roll, man. What did he say? Falcons Fury says you made an entire damn video on Falcons beating Eagles week 1. Falcons Fury, sir. You're not beating the Eagles week 1. So you can go ahead and forget about that. I don't care if it's in Atlanta. I don't care if it's in Europe, Australia. I don't care if they're playing it on the polar ice cap. The Falcons are not beating the Eagles week 1, sir. So, yeah. Who's on the upswing right now? Oh, yeah, the Hurricanes are definitely on an upswing. I would have to agree with that. The only problem with that is that they play in the same conference as a team called the Clemson Tigers. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're this really good team right now, and they're not on Clemson's level yet, sir. So I think that I literally, not even being silly here, because I'm being silly. I think that the Hurricanes, if they continue to trend upwards and find themselves an elite quarterback at some point, I think that they're a year, maybe 2 years away from competing with Clemson. I just don't think they might win that division, you know. And listen, anything can happen in one game, so I'm not saying it's, you know, completely impossible for Miami to go into Charlotte and find a way to beat Clemson. Anything's possible in one game. But even if you're a Miami fan and you had to bet your life savings on who would win that game right now, who would you bet on? If you're being honest with yourself. I know who I'd bet on. That's all I'm saying. So, Clemson Jacob is a comedian today. He says, Clemson is okay, but they aren't on South Carolina's level quite yet, unfortunately. I would have to agree, sir. South Carolina is a perennial juggernaut. If you go anywhere in this country and you ask a college football fan base, you know, if they want to see the South Carolina Gamecocks on Saturday on the gridiron, most of them would run and duck and hide and cower in fear. Just the dimension of the Gamecocks is scary. I mean, they've been known to win multiple conference championships. They have tons of national titles. I mean, every single year they're in the top 5. Every year. I can't remember a year in my lifetime that the Gamecocks weren't in the top 5. They are absolutely ferocious and scary. So I agree with you, sir. I mean, the Gamecocks are a force to be reckoned with. I'm scared of them right now. I'm starting to shake just thinking about it. Go 1330 says, how you doing, sir? Got an overload of football yesterday. I felt like a kid in the candy store. Yeah, I wish I did. I didn't get any football yesterday, and I'm starting to go through withdrawal. So I'm gonna straight binge out on some football tonight. Yeah, I'm just gonna binge out. I'm gonna watch some of the games from last night. I'm gonna watch some of the games that are on tonight. I'm gonna watch YouTube football channels. I'm just gonna go all in on it and wake up with a football hangover tomorrow morning. That's my plan. Yeah. SEC Dog says I sound like Carolina Jackpot. Hey, you want me to really sound like Carolina Jackpot? That's more like it, right? Or whatever the hell he does. How does he even make that sound come out of his throat? I don't know. Anna Carson, how you doing, sir? Hey, Anna Carson, what's up, dude? What's up, my boy? Yeah, Anna Carson's a man, for everybody who didn't know. Yeah. Yes, go Tigers. That hurt my throat doing that. College football maniac. You guys are a trip. Texans versus Eagles, Super Bowl 53. Yeah, I don't. That's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not. I'm not sure that the Texans have it quite what it takes to get to the Super Bowl this year, but you know, it's okay, Anna Carson. As long as I know that you're a man now, it's all good. That's all that matters. Jazzy TV is a Bengals fan. Anybody who's not subscribed to him, go do that. If you're an NFL fan, or even if you're not an NFL fan and you just want to keep up with the Bengals and NFL stuff, go check him out. Use the Mortal Kombat voice. College Football Maniac says, I did not do it right. I haven't practiced it. You know, the chicken call, as I call it. He says that I have to make it sound like I'm choking a rooster. So, Falcons Fury. Either you're trolling or you're severely and utterly misinformed, sir. How is Watson overhyped? Please explain that to me. How he's overhyped. Did you see that he had more touchdown passes in 6 games last year than 25 of the 31 quarterbacks had the entire season? As a rookie with no offensive line? Come on, sir. He's proven to win at every level. The only way he could be overhyped is if he turned out to be a complete bust, which clearly is not going to happen. So I don't know if you're jealous because Florida has no quarterbacks that have ever come even close, and don't even sit here and tell me Tim Tebow was a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson. If you do that, sir, then you have completely lost your mind, and you have clearly been hitting the sauce way too early on this Friday. Go Patriots! Ugh. That just gave me the chills, and not in a good way. The Patriots. UCF Jaguar in the house. UCF. That's another one, guys. If anybody who loves the NFL, or it doesn't matter what team you pull for, go check out UCF Jaguar. He's a really great YouTuber, and I'm sure you guys probably already know who he is. If you don't, check him out. He's been had some interviews with some actual former players, current players. So hey, much respect to UCF. He seems to be able to get the big time people on his show. Nothing but respect for that, sir. If I can get a hold of George Teague, if me, you, and Pete can link up, I will see if he'll give me his tickets this year. I'm assuming you must be talking to Ryan Stanfield. Anna Carson says he's local, but he can't stand the Panthers because of Cam Newton. Why the hate for Cam Newton? I don't understand that. I don't get that at all. And you're local, which means that you live in the state of South Carolina, sir, and you root for the Patriots? Oof. Man, oh man. How does that happen? How does that even happen? I don't understand why people don't like Cam Newton. I mean, whatever. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, I guess. I just don't get it. I love him. He's played 5 games. All I'm saying is he can't keep that rate of TDs up. Well, I mean, nobody can. If he kept that rate of touchdowns up, then I mean, they would win every game 50-0, and he'd be the all-time passing leader 3 years into his career. Nobody's saying he's going to get 19 touchdowns in 6 games every year, but to say he's overhyped as a player, I mean, what have you seen in his high school career, college career, and short NFL career so far that would lead you to believe that he's overhyped? I believe that he was underhyped in the draft. He was the 3rd quarterback taken in the draft. Although it was the 11th or 12th overall, which is still pretty good. But still, he outperformed the guys last year that got drafted ahead of him by a long shot. Period. Now, he's definitely not overhyped. He's properly rated, properly hyped, I would say. Yeah. Tom Brady is a whiny little, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't dislike Tom Brady, by the way. I think that he is the GOAT so far. I mean, him and Joe Montana are right there neck and neck. I respect Tom Brady. A lot of people hate him because they hate how much he wins. Okay? I don't hate the Patriots because they win. I don't hate Tom Brady because he's great. I hate the Patriots because of the Patriots. They're in Boston. I mean, as a person who was born and raised in the state of South Carolina, what in God's green earth would I be rooting for a Boston team for? I don't have any affiliation to them, family-wise or any other. I've never seen them play in person. I never met Bill Belichick's third cousin's wife. I just. Anna Carson says, "Don't worry, Pete. We have the same collegiate team." Yeah, that's all that matters, sir. We all can find some common ground. Even me and Dennis Wilson, who's a complete and utter maniac and the world's biggest troll on YouTube, can both agree that, on certain things. And now it's very few and far between, but there has been occasions, believe it or not, that I have agreed with Dennis Wilson on some certain things. So, Clemson Jacob says, experts try to say that Trubisky was more ready. Yeah, well, yeah, come on. Trubisky started like 9 games. His entire college career, he played 9 games. Deshaun Watson was 33-2. He played 35 games and won a national title in the process. There's no comparison there. So, this is the thing about NFL scouts and some coaches is that they would rather have the guy who's 6'5", 240, than the guy who's 6'3", 230. Just based on that 1 inch and 20 pounds. That's all they care about. I don't get that. I mean, this has been proven. It's about to be proven again with Baker Mayfield. And I've been saying, that's another thing I want to get into. Because now all of a sudden, you can go back and watch my videos from the last draft. I made a ton of draft videos. And I spent a lot of time talking about Baker Mayfield. Everybody in this whole country, with the exception of a couple of other YouTubers, but there were plenty of other YouTubers out there who were saying, "Oh, Baker Mayfield, he's overhyped. He's going to be a bust. The Browns are stupid." I'm no fan of Baker Mayfield in college because I didn't like Oklahoma. But I came out and said this is not Johnny Manziel. He's gonna be a good quarterback in the NFL, if not great. He's not big, and that's all they care about. A lot of these scouts. He's not big enough. He's not big enough. He's not big enough. Meanwhile, Drew Brees and Russell Wilson are top 5 quarterbacks in the league, and Baker Mayfield taller than both of them. Both of them. It's ridiculous. That they put that much emphasis on height. Now, if he was a midget, if he was 4 feet tall, and had stubs for legs, and was running out there like Wee Man from Jackass, trying to throw a football around, that might be a different story. But the guy's over 6 feet tall. It's not like he's a midget. I mean, come on, ridiculous. Yeah, Anna Carson, I agree. Deshaun Watson should have 2 natties, but listen, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, then every day would be Christmas. So it is what it is, sir. As a Clemson fan, I would agree, but listen. Yeah, Doug Flutie is basically, Doug Flutie wasn't a midget, but he was like between midget and short person. Or little person, or what's the politically correct way to say it? I don't know. Doesn't matter. He was 3 inches away from being a tall midget, right? Tall midget? Is that a good way to put it? Yeah, I didn't watch any football last night, unfortunately. I'm gonna watch it though. I'm gonna rewatch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna dedicate my evening tonight after I get the kids settled and do my dad thing. I'm gonna sit down and gorge myself on preseason football and the games that happen tonight, and I'll be on YouTube visiting with some of my other fellow YouTubers. So tomorrow I'll wake up with a bad football hangover. Yeah, he's a tall midget. He's barely not a midget, you know. So, Dennis Wilson is saying anything that makes sense is scary. Well, I wouldn't say that he says anything that makes sense. That's a stretch. What I would say, though, is that he does say some things that I agree with. That's two different things. I can agree with something that's crazy. In fact, I'm an expert at doing that. I can agree with something that doesn't make sense. I'm an expert at doing that as well. But it is kind of scary that Dennis Wilson, he's never said anything that's made sense. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. Yeah, I mean, Dennis Wilson has never uttered two words in the same sentence that made sense. But I can still agree with some. 1 out of 100 comments he says I agree with, on average, on a good week. Wait till Watson and DeAndre Hopkins get together this year. Yeah, that's going to be anybody who plays. Well, I'm not going to even give you my strategy for fantasy football because I might be playing against some of you guys. So, Tiger Nation, I'm going to pretend like you didn't say that, sir, and I'm going to pretend like I didn't read it. And anybody who's watching, pretend like I didn't say this right now. Ray had 3 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. Awesome. Who was the quarterback? Anna Carson says Carolina Jackpot has never said anything that's made sense. Well, now I can definitely agree with that. Every single video I made gets 1 thumbs down. 1 every time, not 2, not 4, not 3. It could have 3 likes, 1 dislike. It could have 50 likes, 1 dislike. I bet you $50 that 1 unlike on every single video I post is coming from Carolina Jackpot. I'm about 90% sure of that. Which is funny. I don't care. It's sad and embarrassing that he would do that. But it's funny, I guess. If that's his way of trolling, since he can't troll about football because newsflash, South Carolina can't troll anybody about football because they've never done anything to troll about. So that's his way of trolling me. Yeah, I think that Baker Mayfield's going to be good. He is. And I've been saying it. So I'm going to beat my chest about it. If he does well like I think he's going to do, and everybody's talking about how he was a glorified Johnny Manziel, are completely wrong. And it shows that some people let their hatred for another team blind their thinking on reality. And anybody who sits, I can tell immediately that either you don't watch football at all, or you're just a complete and total idiot. Anybody who makes a comparison between Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel, A, does not watch football, or B, is a complete moron. There's nothing like about them at all, period. Never was, never will be. The only thing that's alike about them is the fact that they both got drafted number 1 by the Browns. But as far as football goes, there's no comparison. Yeah, 99.9% of South Carolina's fan base is delusional. I would agree, Anna Carson. The 0.1% that's not delusional is in the chat right now, and his name is College Football Maniac. And he's not delusional. He's the only one that I've ever met that's not delusional, which is why I like him so much. Pete, who do I think will win the Heisman? I've made a video on that too. I picked Bryce Love, which is not shocking or fake news to anybody because I think he's the favorite in Vegas to win it. So, it's not like I came up with some kind of crazy pick there. I just think that Bryce Love, the conference he's in, how good he is, I think that he is the favorite to win it, and he's my favorite to win it. My favorites are really up there with a lot of the current favorites. You have Jonathan Taylor out of Wisconsin. What's the kid? Khalil Tate. out of Arizona. That's another one that really could win it because they do like to give it to quarterbacks over running backs. But I'd like to see a defensive player win it one time. SEC Football Tube, how you doing, sir? Good afternoon and happy Friday to you, sir. I'm glad you could stop in. Air Max the Legend Killer says he has McSorley winning the Heisman. Now that's a hot take, if I ever heard one, sir. I listen. I think that Trace McSorley is the best quarterback in the Big Ten this year. Now we haven't seen this Haskins kid from Ohio State yet, and if you talk to an Ohio State fan, other than the fact that Urban Meyer is innocent of all charges until proven guilty, they will tell you that Dwayne Haskins is the best. He's Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, Jimmy Garoppolo, all rolled into one. He's the greatest football player to ever grace us, the earth, with his presence. This is what Ohio State fans will tell you about this Haskins kid. He's better than Deshaun Watson. He's going to win the Heisman for the next 50 years. Trace McSorley's better. So I think that Trace McSorley, despite the fact that they don't have, what's his face? I'm losing my mind right now. Saquon Barkley is going to have a great year. SEC Football Tube says he just got out of freshman football practice. Good for you, sir. Arthur Vandelay, when did South Carolina win a conference title in 1920? They won a conference title when they were in the ACC in 1969. And the only reason, let's anybody who's ever been to school and opened a history book in their life, what was going on in the year 1969? Can anybody tell me what significant in the world was going on in the year 1969? Can anybody tell me? Anybody tell me? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it to come up in the comment section here. That's right. We were at war in Vietnam, where, I don't know, a lot of, if not most, of our college-age athletes were in the jungles of Vietnam. You know, they were drafted and they were fighting in a war. So South Carolina happened to win a title that year, an ACC title, not a national title by any means, because all of their competition was banging Vietnamese chicks and shooting heroin in the jungles of Vietnam. So, there you go. Woodstock, too. I mean, yeah. So. I feel like I'm starting to lose my mind. I'm going to, so I'll leave it up to you guys. I've got about 20 more minutes before I have to get off. Would you like me to end the stream now, or would you like me to take a 2-minute intermission while I run downstairs and grab a Friday beer so I can calm down, because my blood pressure's going up, and I would think that would help. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Let me know. I'm game for either one. Jamie McCaslin, how you doing, sir? All right, so far I'm getting a 2-minute intermission request, so I'm going to do that. I will be right back. Anybody need a beer, by the way? Anybody? While I'm up, ice water, perhaps. Whatever you need, I'll get it for you. All right, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Appreciate you guys hanging in with me here. So, what you guys talking about here? By the way, since this is not only a football channel, but we do talk about other sports occasionally. Anybody watching the PGA Championship? I'm sure there's probably not anybody in here that cares about the golf tournament, but you got, even if you don't like golf, you've got to admit Tiger Woods is interesting to watch, especially after the issues he's been having over the past 6 or 7 years. Quick question: who thinks that Carolina is winning the SEC East? SEC football tube. Do I even need to grace you with an answer for that, sir? No. I think that if you listen to anybody on ESPN or the SEC network, or even on YouTube sometimes, you will see people saying that they have a decent chance of doing that. I completely disagree. And this is me being serious here, separating my hate from South Carolina from this problem, this question. I don't think they're good enough to beat Georgia this year. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how smart I really am or am not. Now, if they continue to recruit well, I even have a hard time. I'm trying to throw them a bone. I'm doing my best here, guys, to throw them a bone and say, well, maybe next year, maybe the year after that, if they continue to get better. But meanwhile, Georgia just continues to recruit, in the top 3 every year. So in what scenario are they gonna pass Georgia in the East? I don't see one unless something just crazy happens. I'm sorry, I just don't see it happening. You guys are a trip. Falcons Fury says he hates ESPN, all the rest. He respects mine and Lou's opinion over them, and y'all hate Florida. Well, listen, I don't. Billy Dawson, Lisa, hello, Lisa. Lisa, on behalf of Pigskin Pete, I would like to say that Billy Dawson is an amazing and fantastic employee, and I promise you that he deserves a raise, an early retirement, and a promotion immediately. That's how great he is of an employee. What was that? Oh, Falcons Fury was saying that I hate Florida. I don't hate Florida. This is the thing on YouTube that's funny, because I had a Mark Dudley on here the other day who's a Michigan fan, and he kept saying over and over in the comment section that I hate Jim Harbaugh and I hate Michigan, and I hate Jim Harbaugh and I hate Michigan. No, I don't. Listen, let's be clear here. There's only one team that I hate. The Boom Chickens is who I hate. If I make a negative video about Michigan or Ohio State or Oklahoma or Florida or Miami or anybody in the Pac-12 for that matter, any team, it's not because I hate them. It's because they deserve to be scrutinized for something. I don't just go pick on people for no reason. Except for South Carolina. But I do have a reason to pick on them, though. I pick on Michigan because they're overrated. Jim Harbaugh's overrated and overpaid. I pick on Florida because their players are running around with airsoft guns and frying pans. Where's my beer at? I pick on the Hurricanes, even though I'm an ACC homer. And by the way, big shout out to Leon Hurricanes. Big shout out to Alonzo1219. And there's several other Hurricanes fans that show up on my streams and watch my videos and comment. I mean, last year, the fact that any of them show up after last year, I mean, I completely dedicated probably 4 weeks of my life to trashing the Hurricanes last year. And these people are cool enough to hang around and get it. They get it. They get that I don't hate the. I mean, listen, Alonzo1219 is one of my biggest supporters, and I you know, he's a great dude. I love his videos. I love his passion for his team. Jamie McCaslin's another one that's hung around, and certain people get butthurt when you talk about their team. Other fans get it, and so I appreciate all you guys that get it. I really do. Yeah, it means a lot, and it shows that you're not a complete moron, an idiot. Some people. I've been what? They'll send me comments. I've been watching your videos for 6 months, man. And I used to really like them, and now you're starting to bash my team. Boo hoo hoo! I'm gonna go cry about it. I'm gonna unsubscribe now. Good, unsubscribe. If you're too much of a pussy to have anybody say anything bad about your team, then I don't want you in here anyways. Period. Go cry me a friggin' river while you're at it. Yeah. Thank you, Leon Hurricanes. Tiger Nation smoking that weed. You guys are a trip. Yeah. You're still waiting on my Miami roasting video, Pete. Hey, listen, Leon Hurricanes, and this goes for the rest of you too. It doesn't matter who you're. If you're anybody not named Clemson, let's put it that way. If you're any school, and there's 132 teams in the FBS and division, or in the 60 something teams in the Power 5. If you're anybody not named Clemson, especially if you're somebody we play this year, or you're another team that's really good, or some fan base who thinks that they're a threat to Clemson, trust me, the football season is coming up, and you will get roasted by Pigskin Pete at some point or another. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. So you can just continue to watch like you do now, and you'll see that happen. I promise you. Yes, Anna Carson, that's exactly how I feel. I respect any non-delusional fan. This is part of the reason that I respect college football maniac so much, is the fact that he's a Gamecock fan. Okay. And obviously he's a smart guy because his girlfriend's a huge Clemson fan. So first of all, he's already smarter than the average Gamecock fan because he's dating a Clemson fan. That automatically raises his IQ points at least 30 points right off the bat before we even get into anything else. But he's not one of these Gamecock fans who gets in on here. He loves his team. I respect that too. He defends his team. But he's not one of these guys that gets on here and acts like the South Carolina is some kind of juggernaut, and every year they're going to win the SEC, and every year they're going to go to the playoff, and every year they're going to win a national title when they've never done any of those things in his lifetime. He's a smart person. I can get down with people like that. Because I've been there. As a Clemson fan, the majority of my life, they were not a powerhouse. They were when I was a little kid, like, not even old enough to care or watch football. But, as a teenager and a young man, the majority of that time, Clemson was an 8 or 9 win team. They were good. I love my team. But I wasn't running around acting like they were the best team in the country. So I don't relate to that line of thought. And this is what Michigan fans do. This is what LSU fans do. And I know LSU's been successful more recently than South Carolina or something. But you get what I'm saying. I'm going on a tangent here. Yo, Pete, out of Mayfield, Josh Allen, Rosen, and Darnold, who's most likely to be a bust? You think Sam Darnold? Clemson Jacob, I think I would have to agree on that. Out of that list right there, I would have to agree. First of all, I'm not gonna let my hate for Josh Rosen cloud my judgment. Okay. Because I really don't like Josh Rosen as a person, not a football player. I think that you're right. I think that out of those, I don't think any of those are going to be a bust, though. So how about that? But the most likely would be Falcons Fury says Josh Allen. I don't think so, man. I don't think any of those guys are going to be busts, but I think that Darnold. But Darnold's a smart kid. I don't know. I think that this last year's quarterback class was really good. I'm not sure that any of them are going to be busts. So, SEC Football Tube says, Pete, do you think I'm delusional? No, I don't think you're delusional, sir. You've been an outstanding, upstanding, intelligent viewer, and I've seen some of your videos. You are fantastic and fabulous and amazing in every single way, sir. So no, I don't think so. On a daily basis, I couldn't have said it any better myself, sir. College Football Maniac says his whole family is split down the middle. He roots for Clemson when they don't play South Carolina. So there are some people that do that. I do have friends. Listen, as much as I get on here and trash South Carolina, I have tons of close friends that are South Carolina fans, South Carolina alumni. I even have a niece who goes to South Carolina right now. She grew up a Clemson fan, and she doesn't hate Clemson either. She says that no matter what, she's always going to have a special place in her heart for Clemson. She wanted to go to Clemson, ended up going to South Carolina. So I get that. Now, for me personally, I don't feel that way. Even my niece who goes to South Carolina knows how much I hate South Carolina. So there's, I'm not going to say, oh, well, my niece goes there now. Or if I had some other family member that went there, all of a sudden I'm going to have a soft spot in my heart for South Carolina. But my hatred for South Carolina was ingrained in me long before any of these, long before my niece enrolled there. There's no turning back from that, period. So she knows. She gets it. And she loves Clemson, even though she's a Gamecock. Falcons Fury says, Pete, on a scale from 1 to 10, how delusional are you? Are you, not me? I would say, first of all, the fact that you're a Florida fan and a Falcons fan and you think Deshaun Watson is overrated, I'm going to put you on a 6, sir. You're a 6. You're on a scale from 1 to 10, you are 6 delusional. And if you may change my mind. You could possibly say something either today or in the future that could raise that. Your score at 6 is not set in stone, sir. It could easily go up to a 7, 8, 9. I mean, if you start telling me that Florida is going to win the East next year and be in the playoffs, then I will put you right at a 10 immediately, right off the bat, and no turning back. So we'll see what happens with that. But Falcons Fury, you seem like a good people with a good sense of humor, sir. So I'm being nice and saying a 6. So College Football Maniac says 1 million or 10 million. I don't know. It's a lot of zeros. But yeah, I don't know. First of all, listen, you got to understand, anybody who subscribes to Pigskin Pete's YouTube channel is already a 3 on the scale from 1 to 10, delusional. You've got to be somewhat delusional to even be watching me in the first place. I put myself at a 7. I'm not even talking about football. I'm just delusional in general. I'm talking about real life, day to day. It's a miracle that I can wake up in the morning and even tie my own shoes. I have a hard time finding my way out of my own bedroom. Light switches are a problem for me. Do they go up? Do they go down? I don't know. I just keep flipping them until whatever I need to happen happens. So I'm right there with you. So I can dish it out to you, but I can also tell you that I'm not the brightest bulb in the shed. So, yeah. Air Max the Legend Killer says, how delusional is he? I don't know. Like I said before, anybody that's on this chat right now, you're already at a 3. I mean, right off the rip. So SEC Football 2 says he's a 4, so I'll take his word for that. College Football Maniac says he's an 8 and a 5, 8.5. I would have to agree, sir. Just the fact that you're a Gamecock fan already puts you at the 8 level. So yeah, you're definitely an 8.5. Some would even say 9. I'd say you're not a 10 because you do date a woman who is a Clemson fan. Comic Dude 45, how you doing, sir? Good afternoon and welcome to the stream. And I hope you have a great afternoon before, during, and after you leave here. Anna Carson says his playoff predictions for the season are us, Alabama, Penn State, and Washington. That would be interesting. And now I picked Penn State to win the Big Ten. Everyone told me I was crazy and stupid and didn't know what I was talking about. I'm still sticking by that. Okay, I'm still going to say that Penn State is going to win the Big Ten. And I'm either going to be considered a complete and utter genius, an Einstein, if you will, at the end of the season, or a complete moron, which I'm fine with either one. Washington is an easy pick out of the Pac-12. Alabama, of course, is the favorite to go to the playoff every year, and of course we are considered to be the favorite to make the playoff this year out of all the teams in the country. So I can't argue with that thinking, Anna Carson. I think that I tend to agree with you on that, even though I think that it's more likely that Wisconsin or somebody else in the Big Ten or Ohio State probably does make it to the playoff over Penn State. Yeah. Tiger Nation, you already know. Anybody who's watched more than 10 minutes of Pigskin Pete will tell you this is a fact, and facts cannot be disputed. That if you're a Clemson fan, your IQ automatically jumps above genius status. So just try it. Just try it. All you got to do is, if you're a fan of another team, go to a Clemson game, put on a Clemson shirt and a hat, go cheer for the Tigers. You will immediately be able to solve equations like Einstein. You will be inventing new things like Leonardo da Vinci, helicopters. You can you can split atoms. You'll automatically be a genius when you become a Clemson fan. You should try it. I did it, and it worked wonders. And I finally learned how to turn on a light switch. So, yeah. Leon Hurricane says I'm crazy. He'll never do that. No, Leon. I think Leon, you should stay a Hurricane fan because that suits you, sir. And plus, what kind of Clemson fan would you be if your name was Leon Hurricanes? That would be weird and unusual at the least. So I think you represent your fan base well, sir, and I like you being a Hurricane. So stay you, be you, do you, and that's all that really matters. So listen, I'm glad you guys gave me the intermission. My battery level on my laptop is hitting 0, and because MacBooks are such Apple is such a bunch of punks, they only have 2 ports on this laptop. One of them I have my webcam plugged into, which is right here. The other one has my microphone plugged into it, which means there's nowhere for me to plug my power cord into, because Apple does not give 2 shits about its users. So I don't have any way to continue the stream and charge at the same time, so I have to get off. Anyway, it's been great. I've had a ton of fun hanging out with you guys on Friday afternoon. You're all amazing, every single last one of you. I can't even go through the list here and tell you how amazing each one of you are. You all know you're amazing. Billy Dawson is amazing, and he deserves a raise. Lisa, his boss, and of course all my Tiger fans, all my Hurricane fans, even the Falcons fans are amazing, and that's amazing. Alabama fans are all amazing. Ryan Stanfield. All right, listen, everybody's amazing. You get it, okay? I will be back on. I won't be back on tomorrow afternoon. I got stuff to do tomorrow afternoon. I might do something tomorrow night. So keep a lookout for that. And I may see some of you guys on some other streams tonight in the comment section. Type in. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Be fabulous and fantastic like you always are. Pigskin Pete. Checking out.